floor for introducing. My name is Julia Wittmayer, based at the Dutch Research Institute for Transitions at the Rotterdam University. And there we combine inter and transdisciplinary research into addressing sustainability challenges. And we do that in a number of different sectors, among which energy, on which I will focus today. So I wanted to share a number of research projects that we're working on. All of these focus on energy system transformation. And what links these projects is really, on the one hand, their focus on the social dimensions of energy transformations. And on the other hand, really their approach towards co-production of knowledge and action between policy, practice, and science. So when we turn to how a lot of people are thinking about or imagining changes in energy systems, more often than not, they tend to think of it in terms of technological solutions, such as wind turbines, solar PV, electric cars. But meanwhile, the social aspects tend to be reduced to something along the lines of, firstly, social acceptance of those technologies, especially since these are decentralized and one way or the other will be in somebody's kind of backyard. And secondly, the social as being discussed in terms of community engagement in setting up renewable energy installations. However, in those research projects that I just introduced and a drift perspective on the energy system in general, also from the just sustainability perspective, this is of course only part of the story. And what is needed is far more reaching and existential. It's namely the changes in the ways that we as individuals, but also organizations are relating to one another and the roles that we take on in energy systems. So energy system transformation comes with changes in the social fabric of our societies. And this also opens up windows of opportunity to make those systems more just and sustainable at the same time. So in one of the research projects, we focus exactly on that, on studying such changes in social relations through exploring the emergence and developments of social innovations in energy. And you have heard Flo already talking about social innovation. We understand that as combinations of ideas, objects, and or actions that change social relations and that involve new ways of doing, thinking, and organizing energy. One example again is community energy, where the social and the material come together in changing the relations between, for example, producers and consumers of energy. However, based on conceptual framing and empirical work, we were able to distinguish between at least 18 types of social innovations in energy. And while community energy and related activities can be found kind of in the upper left of that picture, this typology also shows that there's much more to take into account when we think of arrangements that change social relations in energy systems. And I would like to highlight just three more quickly. The first one is participatory experimentation and incubation. It basically relates to formats where multiple actors collaborate with each other with the aim to experiment with or try out novel energy solutions. And they usually do so in specific local settings, often referred to as living labs or urban labs. The second one of a different order is really focusing on mechanisms through which funding or investments are made available to such multi-actor constellations, for example, related to the installation of wind and or solar energy. And the last one, again, a very different character, are campaigns against specific energy pathways. And they really focus on the creation and development of different framings and ideas against such energy pathways. And you could think of those centered around nuclear or fossil fuel energy. And in our studies of the social dimensions of energy systems at Drift and in those projects, we thus take the lens of social innovation to understand how new arrangements are embedded in existing institutions, but also how these new arrangements challenge, alter, or replace, but also maintain existing regulations, norms, and value systems or shared beliefs. And rather than considering innovations, including social innovations, as inherently good, we critically investigate the tensions and paradoxes that they come with when they change such relations. And they, and specifically those tensions that relate to issues of justice and democracy. And this is why we're so excited to be co-organizing this webinar with Jenny Stevens and Darren McCauley, both being experts on energy justice and energy democracy. Yeah, thank you very much. Giving the screen back to the floor.